same energy are released differently.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Truck Healy Motorcycles presents Canadian Impact Wrestling. It's going to be a dope-ass show. There's nothing more I'd like to do than beat down the tag team division with my brother, Adonis. But I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm hurt. I got a hernia, and it's not no sexy injury, no broken neck, blah, blah, blah. I got to have surgery, though, so I'm not going to be able to wrestle tonight. So with that said, as much as I don't want to have to do this, I got to relinquish the tag team titles. And I'm sorry, brother. I love you. So with that said, show must go on. I'm not going to hold y'all. He looks like he's ready. So I'm going to get out of here. I love you.
I'm still good to go.
Truck Healy, let's hear it for the Moment Taker and one half of your former tag team champions, Jordy Taylor! Now, Adonis, I can't help but notice that you're out here, you're looking lean, you're looking mean, and you're in your gear. So what do you have to say to the people of Vancouver? Hold on!
Hold on a second, Baroni. Who's talking? Is this me? Kash Akbar. I pay the good money for a tag team match. You waste my money and bring it to your poor Canada. You know, quit my music first. I pay good money for tag team. And you're Jordy Taylor the Apparel and the music. You're Jordy Taylor the Apparel. Take coward way out. That is correct.
He's got to have surgery.
That is big money. Big money. Like a muscle. Big money. Big muscle. Shut up. Stupid people. Shut up. Your country is poor. Your country embarrassment.
Back in his heavy shirt.
I pay you money for match. I pay the producer good money for match. You don't give me match, I give you money to the Baroni. Get up! Ayala! Show us Canadian, real winning is all about. Healy Motorcycles. You know what I hate? I hate bullies. And I hate bald bullies. I hate dumb bullies. And I hate ugly bullies. You know what I like? I like many years, the man with the plan and the game in tan, Adonis. Now I'm not good at counting, but there's 2 of us, and there's 3 of them. I like our odds. You guys like our odds? Should we beat all of them up? Well, boys, what do you say? Do you want to fight? Or do you want to be bold, dumb, and ugly?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Canadian Apex Wrestling Road Warriors. I am Peter Brown, joined alongside Jordan Dobrew. And Jordan, what a chaotic start to our night here. First, the Tag Team Champions DTA had to relinquish those championship titles due to an injury sustained to the moment taker Jordy Taylor, but Adonis was clearly dressed for action here tonight. And then from the inflatable nightclub came Kash Akbar along with Tony Baroni and Ian Idol. Kash claiming that he had purchased his spot here for tonight, demanded action. The 2 of them then beat up Adonis, which brought out, of all people, ELP, El Phantasmo, returning to action here in Vancouver tonight. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, first off, right off the bat, we want to wish our well wishes to Jordy Taylor as he recovers from his injury. But now, as well as you might say, you might want to look at that gauntlet match later in the day and be like, what's going on there? But as for the action in the ring, Peter Brown, money talks, and Kash Akbar showed exactly that, purchasing this spot against ELP and Adonis. And obviously Adonis, maybe some chemistry issues he's going to have to deal with here, not tag teaming with his brother like usual, tag teaming with ELP.
Yeah, quite a combination here. This quartet, to the best of my knowledge, this is the first time teaming together of Tony Baroni, a veteran here in Vancouver, with Ian Idol. And Ian Idol has got a new attitude and a new presentation here now that he is in the employ of Kash Akbar.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing out of Ian Idol now. He put the leather jackets away. He got himself a nice suit. You know me, Peter, I like myself some nice denim wear or some nice cotton wear, and that's exactly what he's done to now the gentleman, Ian Idol.
Well, it is a warm night here in Vancouver, and hot tandem moves like that may just put away Tony Baroni, but Uncle Daddy gets out at a count of 2, and now Come On goes right to the eyes of Adonis to tag in Ian Idol now for the first time, and Kash on the outside does not look like he is particularly enjoying this Vancouver crowd.
Well, like he said right off the bat, he wasn't a fan of them, and he's not going to endear himself to this Vancouver crowd. And it's not going to be something on the list for Kash Akbar.
Well, Kash has been so generous as to provide this inflatable nightclub here for us tonight. I'm sure they will be partying all night long if they win, but almost got a victory there, did Adonis and El Phantasmo. And now we'll see what kind of aerial maneuvers Adonis can do. Unbelievable into the cover, but Ian Idol able to get out at 2 to stay in this match. And what a return it is here tonight for LP, his friend of over 20 years, Adonis, to come in and save him from that attack. And now the count begins.
Yeah, ELP been making his way back into the Vancouver scenes as of recent, obviously having his lengthy stint with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but recently teaming with Miles DeVille against Sinner and Saint at NEW a few months ago. So he's been getting himself acquainted back with his hometown crowd, but now getting those fists acquainted with the face of Ian Idol.
Yeah, I don't know if Ian Idol is going to like the count that has befallen his head here, and now he is in the grasp of LP, who is capable of doing all sorts of sensational maneuvers off of those ropes. What incredible balance to walk the line here. Ian Idol can do nothing but watch along as that grip is cinching tight. And now what is Kash Akbar doing up on the apron here? He's got no business there. And LP trying to get him out of the way. And now Baroni from behind takes LP down right on that top rope, and now Ian Idol delivers a blow to Adonis to send him to the hard ground below.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Peter. That is just smart tactical tag team wrestling. When your friend is in trouble, you do what you can to help him out.
I can only imagine what kind of braggadocious attitude Kash Akbar will have if he can take his team to the pay window for the winner's share of the purse in this one. Right now they are looking good as Baroni hooks a leg into the cover, but LP able to kick out at a count of 2.
Well, as we know, Peter, that winner's purse share from Kash Akbar has probably got to be a little bit bigger than your standard CAW winner's purse. You see the gold chains, the Rolex. He gifted a Rolex to Ian Idol. My lord, I'd love to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah, to be the beneficiary of the niceness of Kash Akbar is certainly a luxurious position. Baroni not in a luxurious position. They're receiving those chops from LP, but the headbutt gets him back in control now, using the ropes to stomp down. And now what does Baroni have in store here? Continuing to use the ropes to his advantage. And they are starting to put a few sequences together here in opposition against this highly skilled team, and Uncle Daddy showing some disdain for the front row section.
Well, Phantasmo needs to get himself out of this match as quickly as he possibly can. Tied up in that corner right now by Tony Baroni. But these are two guys, El Phantasmo and Adonis, who've been sticking their nose in business that isn't quite theirs as of recent. Adonis, obviously, at the last CAW show, tagging along with Rhea Von Slasher in that match against Bridget Hurst and Scotty Mack. That had nothing to do with Adonis. I had no idea what he was doing out here. And now El Phantasmo's sticking up for Adonis. I don't believe this.
Well, you never know who's going to show up here in CAW, one of the premier wrestling attractions in Vancouver. We are here today at Trev Dealey Motorcycles, and it is a beautiful summer night for this incredible event. And Ian Idol now gets spilled to the outside of the ring. LP taking on both of them at once, stretching out for that tag, but gets sent back into the partisan corner by Uncle Daddy.
Tony Baroni, no doubt the veteran of this matchup, using that veteran presence to push El Phantasmo in, but now in comes Adonis.
Yeah, Adonis trying to get his team back in the fight here as he repeatedly takes down Baroni. Here comes Ian Idol, miss with that one, perhaps fatigue starting to set in for Kash's prospect here as Ian Idol goes down. Baroni with a kick to the mush, and that's going to stop the offense of Adonis. Now, come on, 3 men in the ring. Get one of them out of there, referee.
Well, Ian Idol still trying to make his way to his feet after taking those moves from Adonis, and now we have a cover in the ring, and Ian Idol still in the ring, able to break up the count.
Well, Idol should have been out of there. He still should be out of there. He's not the legal man, and he just drilled Adonis to the canvas. It's 2-on-1.
Have to have your head on a swivel in tag team action, Peter Brown.
Oh, what a driver right on the neck of Adonis. Could it be all 1, 2? LP breaks up the count, but now we've got all 4 men in the ring. And what a shot, 2 of them, and a third one connects as well. A fourth sends Ian Idol staggering, and now we got Kash getting back up on the apron now. Again, what meaning could he possibly has here, and he grabs LP. Here comes Ian Idol.
Oh no!
Big boot to Kash Akbar. But from behind, Baroni, LP was able to reverse it. Kick right to the face. Here comes Ian Idol. Goozle on LP, another one on Adonis. Does he have the strength to get both men up? We're not going to find out as they reverse it. A series of strikes right to the chest. And oh gosh, right across the face twice of Ian Idol. How is he still standing? And some stereo gyrations by these 2 locals as they drive Ian Idol to the canvas. And what an ovation for LP. And now look at this as they set up their opposition, both going to the top ropes here. What could they have in mind?
Nothing ever good comes from being that high above the ring.
1, 2, 3. attraction here at Road Warriors. And these two friends, these two veterans of the squared circle did everything that they could to stop the attack of Kash Akbar's men. And now they stand tall victorious to start off tonight here in Vancouver.
Well, seems like the investment will be a bit of an investment from Kash Akbar, as Ian Idol, the gentleman, unable to come up victorious in his first match, but I can guarantee you we will be seeing way more of Kash Akbar and Ian Idol down the line.
Yeah, they're going back to the inflatable nightclub to drink away their sorrows as the winning team makes their way around ringside victorious.